All right, Smith, so these were your notes from the original video. The original video is on the left, the new video is on the right. We can see what we've been wanting to work on, which was a more controlled leg lift, is being accomplished. The body does not have to hunch and lean and tilt and get all crazy while we get this leg lift, which is allowing the body to start going towards the target sooner. We got your new videos synced up here. And we'll go back to that one more time for you before we get to Rivera. All right, and we can still see how, like we've been mentioning a little bit this last couple of weeks, about that ball going straight to that ear, and then just kind of staying up there. Right? We'd like to see a little bit of rhythm in that arm, a little bit of rhythm. Let that ball fall out of your glove a little bit more. Instead of the ball going up, allow that ball to come down a little bit, and then it can come up. And that'd be the next thing I think we should start to work on to clean up these mechanics as we get closer and closer to the spring. All in all, though, good improvements on being able to get this leg lift under control, which is helping you get that early momentum in your delivery a lot easier. And Mr. Rivera, we can see your main thing that we've been talking about is getting this stride to get shortened up, which is going to help you be able to get that chest down and out in front at release. We got the old video is the the lion shirt. And we can just see how as we're going out towards that target, we can see right there, right here, the foot's in the ground. And we'll see with the Lions one, we can see how we're still going. That heel is hitting right here. Right? We can see that heel hitting there, hitting there, hitting there. And then the whole foot then is out to here. And we see that when we get to that one. So we take that back and get to watch that overlay again. And being able to see, because that foot got down in a shorter distance, aka quicker, the upper body is still closed off. The old one, by the time that front foot got all the way on the ground, that upper body was starting to come around. So we've done a good job of getting that stride to become a little bit shorter so the rest of your body can be in better arrangement, better synchronization, a better flow of that energy. Much better job. And Jutzy, your original note was to control your leg lift and to get your foot in the ground. So if we look at this side view, we would say that this leg lift is a little bit more controlled, but do we notice the back leg and the back leg are doing very similar movements at the top of the leg lifts. They're kind of getting that collapse where that knee is buckling towards first base. The back knee is buckling. It starts here and it starts here, and then after the buckles, it gets to here and to here. The leg lift itself is good, but the back leg is kind of collapsy. And we can see what that does to your head height early on. We're doing a lot better job of getting the foot into the ground, nice and flat and flush, versus heel and then the foot getting the toe, getting the rest of the foot in the ground. Do we see this though? As we get that foot down, we're kind of leaning backwards a little bit. So now this is the angle at which you will be rotating. We would like to see this be a little bit more upright so that rotation can be a little bit more to the target. And you can see this angle is more than what this angle was. So something over the last couple months, while doing our drills to get this to be better in the ground and for the leg lift to be more controlled, we've started to get ourselves a little bit more off to the side when we throw versus sending that energy more to our target while we throw. So then here is both of those videos synced up. Oops, what's going on here? All right, here's both of your videos synced up. I'll let you watch it a second time. All right, and you were obviously not there the day we did our original videos, but we gave you feedback on when I would just take a video of you pitching and kind of just showed you on the fly. And the big thing that we were working on with you was making sure that when we load this arm up, that we're thinking when this front foot gets into the ground, right? When that front foot gets itself into the ground, right, bam, right there, from shoulder to elbow to hand, we want to be in a 90-ish degree and a 90-ish degree angle. Okay, we would say right now from shoulder to elbow, we are darn near close. And the only way we're going to be able to get this to be exactly where we want it to be is if this glove stops swooping out and getting outside of your body. Okay, and that's what I mean by when I'm talking the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm mentioning about your glove going all the way below your waist and all the way outside of your body, and then after your throw, you're curling your glove up to your body, up to your chest. The curling of the glove up to the chest after the glove has already gone here does us no good. Okay, so if I back us up and we would just kind of watch where this glove is going and how it's swooping way outside of you. It's swooping way outside of you, and then we're curling it up into our body. And by that time, it's too late. The ball is already out of our hand. The ball's already out. So pulling the glove up now to be in a good finish position is just fooling you into thinking it was there the whole time. Okay? So we want to make sure that as we're going down and this glove gets out into here, it goes from here this way and then into our body. You swoop it all the way out to here, and now you got two arms back here. You're basically just being held hostage with your arms back here. And because this arm is so far back here and the other arm is so far back here, that's what makes it almost impossible for your elbow to get even with your shoulders by the time it needs to. Okay, so we got to control this glove. We got to keep the glove from getting outside of our body. This is inside. This would be in line with our body, and this is outside. Your glove, we do not want to get outside of your body. It stays closed or in, and then it gets in line, but then it can't get out. Once it gets out, we are in trouble. We're losing power, we're losing accuracy, and most importantly, and most devastating, is we're adding a lot of unneeded stress onto our arm to make this throw. So we need to work on finishing our glove, not at the very end putting the glove into a finished spot, but having it go from here into that finished spot, not out towards first base and then wrapping itself back in. And that takes us to Cox, where the whole thing we've been really working on has been the high elbow hike, plus making sure we get that early momentum in our delivery. And what we'll see is on the right, the one thing that is different that we talked about, we never noted in our original video, but we talked about, was this, having to tuck your hands back towards second just to get your knee, the clearance to come up, versus just putting the knee between the hands, right? We can see your hands are moving a little bit more now than they ever were. I don't know if that's because you aren't confident that the knee can get in between your arms and you're trying to raise your hands out of the way of the leg. But we can see just by this shadow right here, that shadow is being caused by the light shining down off of your arm, casting it onto the leg, which means your leg is behind your arm, which means there's not much need for the arms to go up this high unless you are specifically doing that on purpose. But if we watch the original video, they're starting at about the same height. Max is like below your nose. Max right here is like just beneath the top of your head. So I'm not sure if you even know you're doing that, but something to be aware of that has changed. What we are going to notice when we get the side views compared, they are almost identical. The leg is going to come all the way up. The leg is going to go all the way down. You go all the way down, but our body has not gone towards the target at all yet. So that whole establishing early momentum in our delivery is still not being accomplished because of the leg going up and because of the leg going down, the body tilting or going down and tilting backwards and not going anywhere. We don't have any momentum in our delivery. And because there's no momentum, we're going to use that brute force. And that brute force for you is whipping that head over and getting everything to kind of get flingy and long and lengthy. And what we're going to notice is as we go through our delivery here, look at where your head is at. Right? This is what I'm talking about when I keep saying that your eyes, which are starting on the target, are very quickly going. Look at that turn of the head. Right there. Right there. And now your eyes are going down here. And then as we continue, now they're going down here even more. Right? And then now they're still down here. And then now you're going to try to turn your head at the last second as it's still angled over here. Look at this one. This one's still angled over here. And I don't even know if our eyes are or if our eyes are open yet as we're trying to make this throw. Okay? So the eyes, excuse me, the eyes and the head looking at the target has been something we've been talking about the last 3 weeks. Okay. The momentum is stuff that we've been working on since we first started in November. And then the elbow hike, which we have not mentioned yet, but if I get this out of the way so it's a little bit easier to compare, and we go through these stages again, and we watch how this elbow is from here is going to keep creeping up. Right? It's almost identical to your original video. And then now that the elbow is way up here, it's going to have to drop way down to get to a throwing position. And now we've gone elbow from this position up and then down, and then now we're going to try to throw. And that up, down, and all those different timings are just extra movements that we have to be super, super, super consistent with in terms of its timing. And as we saw on this particular day with our bullpens, our pitches were going everywhere. And that's just a combination of the eyes not being able to pick up our target the whole way, and this arm getting to that high elbow hike, plus the body staying close to the mound for the vast majority of your delivery. So we kind of have one issue that makes the second issue even bigger, which makes the other issue even bigger. So because we're not getting a whole lot of momentum early in our delivery, we're going to have to work harder to produce power. And then when our eyes go off of the target, we don't know where that power needs to be sent to or when it needs to get sent there. And then with the high elbow hike, it makes it tough to be consistent at the end at release. So we really need to go back to the drawing board, my man, and we need to commit some time at home to doing our drills of getting the body going to the target early, learning and training the body how to go forward while this leg is coming up, not going forward after the leg has gone all the way up, all the way down, and now I'll try to go forward.